I'm a practicing Tibetan Buddhist, a lifelong student, and a Thai American woman. I grew up around the beauty of warm teas, shared slowly as ritual and relationship. My Rinpoches, my Tibetan Buddhist teachers, His Eminence Nala Rinpoche and the Venerable Toko Jigme Rinpoche, my Sangha, and Tibetan families have always offered butter tea whenever we gather, especially on sacred or special occasions. It is a gesture of welcome, of care, of belonging. When I speak about butter and fats and coffee and tea, I'm not speaking from a trend. I'm speaking from lineage. There are moments when modern wellness quietly circles back to an ancient knowing. Butter and coffee and tea is one of those returns. Long before it became a trend, cultures around the world paired fat with warm beverages to sustain energy, protect the nervous system, and provide the body with a slow, reliable fuel. Today, many women are rediscovering this practice not as a performance tool, but as a form of gentle support. Support for metabolism, support for blood sugar balance, support for inner steadiness. This is not about optimization, it's about remembrance. When you add a small amount of butter to your coffee, you introduce slow digesting fats that gently change how caffeine moves through the body. Many women notice steadier energy, less shakiness or nervousness, and fewer spikes and crashes. The fat slows the absorption of caffeine, creating a smoother curve instead of a rush and drop. For women in midlife, when the nervous system can feel more sensitive, this often feels more supportive. Butter and coffee may also support appetite and blood sugar balance. Dietary fat helps signal fullness and slows digestion. This can mean less early morning hunger, fewer reactive cravings, and a calmer relationship with the first part of your day. For women navigating changes in appetite or using GLP-1 support, this steadiness can be especially meaningful. Healthy fats also encourage metabolic flexibility, not restriction, not forcing the body into extremes. Simply widening the body's ability to use both fat and glucose for fuel. Many women also notice improved focus and mental clarity. Butter contains short-chain fatty acids and fat-soluble nutrients that support brain health. And on a foundational level, fats are raw materials for hormone production. Quiet building blocks that matter. For some, adding fat to coffee can also feel gentler on the stomach by buffering acidity. Long before butter tea existed, Tibetan cultures prepared tea with yak butter and salt as a daily nourishment, not as a novelty, not as a hack, but as a survival wisdom. In cold, high-altitude environments where food availability was limited, butter tea provided dense calories, warmth, and sustained energy. It functioned as a meal-like beverage. In monasteries, monks traditionally drank butter tea between prayer sessions. It helped prevent hunger distraction, supported long periods of sitting, and maintained mental steadiness. At high altitude, the body requires more energy simply to maintain warmth and oxygen efficiency. Butter tea offered accessible fuel without heavy digestion. Butter tea is also an expression of hospitality. Guests are welcomed with it. Cups are often refilled continuously. It represents care, warmth, and belonging. And when someone is tired, weak, or low in appetite, butter tea may be offered because it's easy to consume, gentle to digest, and comforting, much like broth in many other cultures. Modern butter coffee and Tibetan butter tea share the same wisdom. Fat, warmth, ritual, steadiness, not perfection, not extremes, not force, just support for the body. If this practice feels interesting to you, start simply. Choose grass-fed, unsalted butter when possible. Begin with half to 1 teaspoon. Blend or whisk so it emulsifies. You can add cinnamon, vanilla, collagen, or a splash of unsweetened nut milk if you desired. And later in the morning, pairing with protein can offer additional stability. Butter beverages are optional. and they're not required for health. If you have gallbladder disease, fat malabsorption, or specific medical conditions, consult your healthcare provider. Your body always holds the final vote. Here's an affirmation. I nourish myself with choices that feel steady, kind, and sustainable. Before wellness, it had algorithms, it had hearths. Before protocols, it had teacups. Before optimization, it had care. Sometimes the most powerful medicine is simple. If this resonated, you're welcome to explore more gentle nourishment, metabolic support, and nervous system healing inside the Soul to Soul Sisterhood. You do not have to heal alone.